on. All right, welcome to Let's Chat, you guys. Like I said, you're not going to be hearing from me tonight. You are going to be hearing from the beautiful Donna Sickerman. And Donna is a certified health coach. I'm just going to turn this right over to her. So Donna, are you there?
I'm here.
Awesome. All right, we're going to go on mute and it's all on you.
Okay. This is so exciting. As you're saying that all of the leaders for all the client support pages are leaving, I don't know if it's the girl in me, but is anyone else like, we're going to throw a kegger? I'm just kidding. An Optavia kegger. It'll have purposeful hydration. So this is so exciting. This is really such a privilege that I take very, very seriously. These Tuesday nights for me are holy rocks in my schedule. And it is, I think everyone's time is so precious. And the fact that we're all in this together because we see the value in this and in coming together, it's really special. So I am using this time to really do something which is a little outside of the box for Let's Chat. And I'm a self-growth professional and personal development workshop junkie. So I go to these things. I've been doing it for years. And when I started my Optavia journey, it was just such a natural fit because they were speaking my language. I remember sitting in this very chair less than a year ago, talking to Brad and Michelle with my amazing coach. And okay, purposeful kegerator, that wins the night. That's amazing. And talking to Brad and Michelle and just being so blown away by their integrity and their drive and their passion. And so it's a special community that we have. Okay. So just to kick this off, I'm going to ask an amazing, amazing person that I get to be partnered with to come on, Lisa. Michelle, do you need any help finding her? Lisa is going to kick us off. Oh, we missed our first funny slide. We'll go back to it. Okay, so Lisa in the house. Lisa, if you're there, just unmute yourself, sister.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Am I here?
Awesome, yes.
Yes, perfect. I'm so excited to be on. Thank you, Donna, for nominating me. So I started my journey with Optavia about 3.5 months ago, and I've seen amazing results. I'm almost around 22 pounds down, which I'm thankful so much. So I kind of struggled with my weight for a very, very long time, and I tried everything. I tried Weight Watchers, and I tried Slimgenics, and nothing really ever worked for me. And how kind of gave up, and I was like, I'm just over it. I tried working out and everything. And I was just like, personal trainer, I was like, we're done. And then one of my mom's friends came over, and she came in the house and she looked amazing. And my mom's like, shout out to Tanya. She goes, Tanya, what are you doing? And Tanya's like, I'm doing this Optavia. And I was like, oh, Optavia. I never knew about it. And I came home one day and my mom's like, Lisa, like, I haven't seen Tanya in forever, and Tanya looks amazing. And I'm like, okay, let's try it. At that point, I was like, we'll just try anything. And so I tried it, and I'm like, I'm going to give it a month. Like, let me just give it a month. If I don't see anything, I'm done with it. And so I gave it a month, and in that month, I lost about 10 pounds. And that's where I was like, this is a life changer. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. And I will send that on. I've been with Optavia, and I'm very happy with it, and hopefully I'll see more that will be lost.
Amazing. Okay, Lisa, thank you so much. And I just wanted to bring on all of the people that are going to be speaking tonight are all in different stages of their health journey. And I think that is something that for me is extremely inspiring, because there's some place for everyone here. And sometimes our journeys are not always a linear path. And sometimes there's struggle, sometimes there's challenge. And we all know coming into this, none of us got into the position unless you joined Optavia already in optimal health. You just wanted some structure and you wanted something to really take you to the top. But all of us came here because we had something that was preventing us from really reaching our potential in some capacity. So what we're going to talk about today, and Michelle, if you could actually go back, please, to the slide right before Lisa. Right, the next one, my little meme slide. There you go. Okay. So I always like to start with a joke. So I figure I'm going to give you guys my favorite joke meme slide here about diets and getting healthy and everything like that. So right now, if it's far away and it's going to distract you and take you away from the call, don't worry about it. But if you guys can somehow get a piece of blank paper and some type of a writing device, we're going to be needing it, okay? You will be served best if you have a piece of paper and a writing device. This is something that, while I love my phone, a good old-fashioned piece of paper is going to serve you best at. Okay, so we could go to the next slide after Lisa, please. Great. Okay, we're going to talk about a concept called why, and why we're talking about why. So we always say with Optavia that we're not will-powered here. Everyone always says to me, I've lost over 80 pounds. They're like, Donna, how do you have the willpower? And my response always is, I don't. That's why I had so much weight to lose. That's why my health was where it was at. I didn't have the willpower. And frankly, I still don't have the willpower. But what I work on and what I contend for on a daily basis is having the why power. So a guy by the name of Simon Sinek came out with this flagship book called Start With Why. And it's not a long read. And I actually wanted to show you guys the book. It's like a little white and red book. I wanted to show it to you, but I had lent it out because I literally, my copies of it, I can't keep them in the house. So this whole book, the whole concept of this is that you see this circle here on the little chart here, that there are 3 concentric circles for everything that we do. And in the middle, in the core, is the why we do anything that we do. And this could be as small and insignificant from why we go to the particular dry cleaners that we go to why we raise our children in a certain way, or why we marry the person that we marry. There's something driving everything that we do. And then if you go out to the next circle, there's the how. So how are you realizing this why? What does this why look like? And then there's the what. The what are we doing? So my goal for the next 22 minutes, you're going to hear from 2 more incredible people in different stages of their health and transformation journey. But my goal is that all of us here get some collective clarity on this together. Oh gosh, my chat window is closed. I'm like missing the party here. Okay. So I definitely do recommend this book. It's been a major kind of jolt and awakener for me. So if you see right down there on the bottom, the Simon Sinek talks about the Wright brothers a lot. And so who here is familiar with the story of the Wright brothers? Do we have any airplane fans that want to tell us anything about the Wright brothers? Because this is a really interesting piece. The Wright brothers, I don't know if they would take off in the 2018 startup market right now. The Wright brothers did not really resemble the type of like sexy, cool, forward-thinking companies that we tend to give a lot of credit to in this day and age. They had no notoriety, none. They weren't getting any press. They had no funding, but they did have 2 very important things going for them. They ran a bicycle shop. Exactly. They ran a bicycle shop. Like all those photos, if you go to, we live outside of DC. And so if you go to, they have the Air and Space Museum here, you get to see a lot of cool things. I have 3 little boys, so we spend a lot of time in the Air and Space Museum. So they had the right people and they were focused. You couldn't get the Wright brothers off. As Simon Sinek says, they were focused on the promise of flight. They knew somehow it was possible. That was their why. And they almost died figuring out the how. They couldn't figure out how to do it, but they knew their why. They were completely clear on their why. They're your ancestors. Wow, Debbie, that's really cool. Okay, and so then we see history then tells us exactly how that what came through. So why are we talking about aerodynamics on our Let's Chat call where we're all focused on health and transformation? Okay, Michelle, if you could please go to the next slide. I like this. Okay, so this is called the golden circle. I'm sorry that this slide is a little pixelated. So this is what Simon Sinek really refers to quite frequently about how we act, think, and communicate from the inside out. There's a really, really great YouTube video. If you search Simon Sinek Golden Circle, you're going to see a lot about this. But again, the why is your purpose. The how is your process. How does that purpose manifest itself? And the what is what happens from that. It's your result, okay? It is your result. And this actually can come through in a multitude of ways. A startup that I've been a part of seeing through as an entrepreneur, a startup that I founded, we hired a lot of consultants that we paid a lot of money to walk us through creating a business why. So that way, as a business, we could live our why values. Can you guys think of any businesses that really demonstrate and live their why values? Are there any brands maybe that you interact with other than Optavia, of course, that really, if you were to think of a company that has a why, okay, Michelle, Apple, awesome. Because Apple is not about making computers, right? Apple is about one thing. Does anyone know what Apple's about? Innovation. Okay, Facebook's not about a social platform. Facebook's why is connecting the world. Lush, Google, excellent. Okay, these are the Honest Company, LinkedIn, beautiful. So these are all brands and companies that were founded on a strong why, or that started like Dove, for example. They started off as a soap company, I think connected to Procter & Gamble. And they later saw that the key to their success is to actually reverse engineer their why. And now you see Dove, they make cutting edge commercials and broadcast media where it's all about the why. It's all about the why. Awesome. Costco, interesting. Yes, actually the CEO of Costco, he's a very interesting character. I've read a book a bit about him. Okay, fantastic. Different local faith organizations. I would certainly hope so. Beautiful. Any of these transformative ones. Okay, great. Michelle, next slide, please. Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys and get a little personal here about me and my personal why, just to really use this as an example. So I have been struggling on a personal level with my health and with my weight for as long as I can remember. I was 8 years old when my mom took me to a nutritionist for the first time. I have something called PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And it's like carrying extra weight for anyone is pretty dangerous, but carrying extra weight for me, it puts me at an increased risk of heart disease and diabetes and just a whole host of scary things that if I can control my weight and I can control my PCOS are relatively preventable for me. So my why, that inner circle, has always been health. When I had that initial assessment conversation with my coach, and she said, Donna, like, what's your goal? Like, do you want to lose weight? What's your goal? I said, honestly, I don't even care about the number. I'm going to get to whatever number my doctors say I'm safest at because I just care about health. I just got off the phone right before I called my coach with my co-camp counselor who in her early 30s was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. And here I am thinking, I have this perfectly good body that I've been blessed with. It has a few things, like it has PCOS, and I have this achy joint here and there, but it's a perfectly healthy body and I'm not being responsible with it. So I really felt like I just needed to get healthy and like it was affecting every other part of my being. So I needed to get healthy. And then I'm going to show you guys something. I couldn't put a picture of her in the slideshow because when I did, and I was working on the slideshow this past week, I started crying. So I'm like, if I'm feeling brave enough to show you, then I will. But here's really, if you guys really want to know, this little one here, this is my Atara. This is my 6-year-old daughter. And if you can't tell from the photo, we're like literally the same in every way. It's a little frightening if anyone has a child like that, where you look at them and they're like a mirror back at you. Here's the picture of her now that we're a little bit bigger. So going through what I went through on a personal level, yes, it's made me who I am, and I'm certainly stronger for it, and it's molded my personality in a lot of ways. but it's definitely, it's not a challenge that I would want to give to anyone. And so I think that, I get all these calls all the time from parents that say to me, Donna, my child is overweight, my child is not healthy, they need habits. And I always say, let's start with you. Let's get your habits under control. Let's get your habits where they need to be. And then that's going to set the example. That's going to create the trickle effect. Okay. So right now, what I would like to do, Michelle, if we could just go back to the slideshow. So as you can see, then the second circle is that I wanted to find a simple to follow program where I had accountability and I created community. That was my how. I needed to find a way where I couldn't fail because I was really good at failing everything I'd done in the past. That was my specialty. I was awesome at starting diets. Like, no problem. I could nail that first week, downhill from there. In fact, Whole Foods near me, they said, oh, you're starting a new thing. Cause I would show up, I'd buy an insane cart full of every single fruit and vegetable and brown rice product in the store. And they'd be like, Donna, which one is it this time? I'd be like, shut up, let me just buy my overpriced beets and move over. So it was a really big thing when before I started Optavia. I said to my coach, I think I need some extra time because I have to go to Whole Foods. She's like, why? I said, well, don't I need to prepare a lot of stuff? She's like, Donna, you could literally have 3 eggs and a cucumber. I was like, it's very disorienting. Okay. So my how was finding a simple to follow program. And then my what, and this is my goal. This is what I look at when I have my vision board that I created. And obviously it's more detailed, but for public purposes here, it's optimal living from the inside out. Health, wealth, vitality. That's what it is for me, for my husband, for our family. Okay, next slide, please. All right, so now we're going to get onto the workshop part. So I would like everyone to grab their piece of paper, okay? Grab your piece of paper. And what we're going to do, I think that I'm an inner preschool teacher here, except I wouldn't last for more than 5 minutes. What I would like everyone to do is I want you to take up 90% of this piece of paper, draw a really big rectangle, okay? A really big rectangle, all right? I want to see your rectangles. Let's see. I would love to see your rectangles, okay? Draw your really big rectangle here. And then I'm trying to open up the chat. Okay. Try to draw these rectangles. Great. So in your rectangles, then you're going to divide your rectangle into three different sections. And then you're going to draw a line through the middle. So it should look something like this. Again, if you can't do it now, don't worry about it. This is going to be recorded, posted in all of your client support groups, so you can get to it another time, okay? So a rectangle, so you should have 6 sections. On the top left, we're going to write before. In the top middle, we're going to write short term. And in the top right, you're going to write long term. Okay, so it should look a little something like this. Before, short term, long term. And then here we're going to write, for the top row, we're going to write Y. And on the bottom, we're going to write outcome. Okay, so again, I'm sorry for my handwriting and my broken marker here. My children, nothing sacred here. So on the top row, it should say Y, before, short term, long term, and then outcome before short term, long term. Okay, so if you guys can write this out or just visualize it, that's fine. And then I would like you guys to start thinking about filling this out. Just start thinking, brainstorming. And I would like to invite Angela on to tell her story. Angela, I saw you on here before, sister. No, we're not at Adina's yet. Angela doesn't have a slide. So Angela, if you are with us and you could just jump on, we would love to hear from you. Go for it.
You can hear me?
Can hear you. You're good.
Okay. Hi, my name is Angela. I'm 48-year-old. I'm a nurse. So I started my journey. I mean, like everybody else, I was overweight, but I had a problem. My diabetes was uncontrolled. and I was taking already 3 medication. I went to Israel in April. I came back. I was really, really overweighted, and I didn't feel my toes. I said I have to do something. And then I don't know, somehow I saw my friend Brenda, that she's my coach, and I saw that she's losing weight. I said I have to find out what she's doing. I tried so many diets before and nothing helped me. And the only thing that was going through my head is like my toes, and I'm not going to feel them. And then, God forbid, it's going to be cut off. And I said, I have to do something. I have to change my weight gain. So I spoke to Brenda and we started. And so far I lost 27 pounds. And I mean, it's going slow for me. I was a little bit frustrated that people losing more weight than me and in a shorter time than me. But I know diabetes is something that is very hard to get rid of, and it's stuck on your waistline, and it takes time. So it took me a time, and I'm still like, I want to, lose it more faster, but it's going slowly. But I know it's going to be forever. So I'm following the program. In the beginning, I was a little bit cheating because it's hard, but then with encouragement, I went back on. And so now I feel much better. I was already on 3 medications. They were considering insulin. And I said, no way, I'm not going to get there. So I had to lose weight. So right now I reduced to 1 medication only because my A1C is going down, and it was almost 9.8. Now it's 7. So it's better. And my goal is still reach like under 6. Hopefully I'm going to get there with time. And I'm just, want to encourage everybody else that, it's doable. It's slowly, but it's doable. I don't know, my experience is slowly. But I'm happy. I feel great. I have more energy. My sugar is down. I used to wake up in the morning and my finger stick was 240. This was before breakfast. And that's bad. That means I was walking with 300-400 a day. And that would slow me down, less energy and lethargic and feeling. And now I feel much better, lighter. My sugar, they running finger stick in the morning, it's 70, 160. I mean, my goal is to get to 120, 130. 100 is normal. But if I'm going to be 120, 130, I'm going to be happy.
Amazing, Angela. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I think it's so special because, again, and Angela, you are such a great role model for this. It's focusing on your why. When you started, you were so crystal clear on your why, and you've kept that, and you face challenges, and yet you still do it. And I really think it's important for all of us to share and to be real with each other, that it's not always a linear path, and that this is why our community is there for each other, that this community is really, it's a train. And whatever client support group you're in, I always encourage all of my clients to be part of that client support group, because we need, when we have a strong why and we're doing the hard work of being real about that, it can sometimes be discouraging and challenging, and we face a lot of life. A lot of life happens, but sometimes you're rocking the program, and sometimes this is like second nature, and you could do it with your eyes closed, backwards, forwards, and you're in the front of the train. You're the conductor. You're like posting, inspirational memes every morning in your client support group, and you're inspiring others, and people are coming along that journey with you. You are like living your why. And then there are times where life is happening, and Angela, like what you just shared, sometimes things, because of like deviations and challenges and choices, sometimes there are hiccups, and sometimes like we're barely hanging on to program and we're in the back of that train. But as long as you stay engaged and you keep up with the program and your coach and your community and the habits of health and with the nutrition, you're still on that train, and you're going to be carried by everyone else, and you're going to get to your destination. So I think that's a really important part of what we do. Okay, back to the slideshow, please, Michelle. I'm going to zoom through this because I really want to have time for our last share. Okay, so again, I would encourage everyone to please fill this out. This is really about creating those 6 sections to understand why you started program before. Why did you reach out to your health coach to start with? What were your short-term goals? How did you know that you were successful short-term? What started happening in the short term that showed that you like creating milestones that are exciting? A lot of these could be non-scale victories, okay? And then long-term, and here's the magic, guys. I'm sorry for my chicken scratch. This line here in between short-term and long-term, that line, you don't have to switch back to me, Michelle. Okay, we did. This line in between short-term and long-term, this is where you guys, this is where we hit our goal. This is where we hit our goal, but this is not where our journey ends. Our why carries us through, and sometimes our whys change. Sometimes, and we have to reassess and reevaluate and take note, but there's a why that gets us started. There's a why that gets us to our short-term goal, and then there's a why that's going to carry us through our long-term goal. And all the people that you're hearing from today, in some way, I'm either partnered with them or one of the coaches I'm partnered with is helping them, and they're all part of my long-term why. They're my investment policy. They're my insurance plan for keeping me accountable, because I can't face them if I'm not following through on my long-term goals, and then the outcomes. Okay, so letting go and cultivating. This is from Brene Brown. Again, I'm a self-growth junkie, people, okay? I read this so you don't all have to. So Brene Brown, any of her books are excellent, but this is from The Gifts of Imperfection. And this is all about what we have to let go of. And Angela, you said this beautifully. We have to let go of, you see that one in the middle, guys? Comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. Perfectionism, what people think, scarcity, fear, anxiety as a lifestyle, self-doubt, and all that supposed to thinking, and we replace it. It's hard to just let go of something without filling in. You guys notice that's why we have you eating 6 times a day, because we want to fill in. It's not just about letting go. You want to put something healthy in there, authenticity, resilience, and then the next slide, and then we're going to have 2 minutes for Adina, which is such a shame because I want you to have 20 minutes. So how we hit our goals, okay? Focus on your why. It's not enough to just fill out this chart, people. You want to have it in front of you at all times. You want to say it, feel it, see it, be it, live it. Tell as many people as you can. Create a map, socialize it, create that accountability. And with this, I want to show you someone who has literally been living her why and reached exciting milestone. I'm so blessed, and I have my tissues nearby to bring on Adina to wrap this up.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Donna, and hello, everybody. I'll be very brief just to tell you a little bit about my journey and especially my why. Like many of you, I have been overweight my whole life. I don't remember a time where I wasn't overweight. Childhood, adolescent, adulthood. I had tried everything also, from exercising to diets. And then about 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with MS, multiple sclerosis, which is a autoimmune degenerative disease, which played a big impact in exercise due to fatigue and exhaustion, and exercise became more difficult. And then on top of that, 1.5 years ago, I was then diagnosed again with another incurable disease involving some of the veins in my right leg, which caused swelling and pain and all of that sort of stuff. So again, putting that challenge on exercise, and everyone always said, you need to diet, you need to exercise. Every time I went to a doctor, diet and exercise. My family, diet, exercise. But that just became increasingly harder and harder. And I didn't know what to do. I kept pushing through. I kept trying. I did my best, but nothing was majorly successful. A little success here and there, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, but nothing, bounced right back. And then I found Donna and this amazing program and this amazing community. And I had to think about my why, like Donna asked me to. And I had my typical whys that, a lot of us have. I want to be a better wife, a better mother, a better coworker. I want to look good. I want to look good for myself, look good for my husband. And then I dug a little deeper, and my why really became, my deepest, darkest why really became is I didn't want to be disabled. And I myself am an occupational therapist, and I work in a rehab hospital, and I work with disability. I work with a lot of unhealthy people, people who are, were unhealthy and ended up having strokes or heart attacks or things like that. And I just didn't want that path for myself. I didn't want that path of being unhealthy and being disabled. And, there's a chance I might end up in a wheelchair. I might be disabled down the line due to my conditions. That's out of my control. But what I wanted is I wanted to control what I could control. And I wanted to play that part, and knowing down the line that I did everything that I could to not go down that road and not go down that path, and minimize the burden of care that I might put on my family later on down the line. And so that really became my why I wanted to do it. And it was probably the most motivating why that I had, being that I watch it every day at work, being that I live it and really wanted that for myself. And that why has led me to meeting my goal weight just yesterday of 55 pounds. And I want to continue on this journey. I want to be able to go into transition and maintenance and keep it up and live a healthier lifestyle. And kind of learning the next steps is really important to me, because I want to move forward into a healthier lifestyle going forward. And I thank everybody, and I thank Donna especially for guiding me in this process. And that's all.
Amazing. Okay, Adina, thank you. Thank you all. And I think that you got to hear from 3 amazing, amazing clients on this program who are all working with their why and being real with their why. And that's the goal here. I'm sorry that we went over, Michelle. I'm ending it, but please don't end on your why, because your why is what's going to carry you through.
It was worth those 2 extra minutes.
No question about it.
Thank you, Donna. That was incredible. Thank you, Adina, Lisa, and Angela. Your stories are incredible, and we look forward to continuing to follow your journey. So that is the end of Let's Chat for the clients tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.